Well, of course, as you know by now, 2 Republican senators lost their recall elections yesterday. 4 did not, and 2 Democrats still face an election next week.
The Democrats say taking the 2 seats was a huge victory. Republicans say holding on to 4 seats was a huge victory, and they retain a majority on the Senate floor. Now that the dust has settled, who are the real winners and losers? Political expert Charles Franklin joining us once again. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Charles. I know you had a long night last night. You appreciate it.
Though.
So,
fun.
How can both sides claim victory?
Oh, because in politics, both sides always do claim victory. I think the most important part is Republicans retaining control of the Senate. Had that gone the other way, it would have been a clear Democratic victory. Having held on, it means that the Senate is controlled by the same party that controlled it yesterday. It's true it has a narrower margin, and that may have some effects in how it does its business, but the fact of Republican control is not changed. And so I think that is where the Republicans definitely had the better night last night.
So given that point, for the Democrats, was the recall worth it?
Well, I think they're going to have to ask themselves that. It certainly stimulated voters. It turned out a lot of people. In fact, turned out a tremendous number of people. You remember the Supreme Court blew away turnout records for a spring election, and this one blew away the Supreme Court record. We were up around gubernatorial turnout in one district and close to it statewide, or at least in the 6 districts yesterday. So voters were very energized, and it was true of both parties that it went way up. But what the long-term consequences of it are, I think that is still very much to be decided.
Does it take the wind out of the Democrats' sails, I guess is going to be the question.
I think going forward, any attempt to recall Governor Walker is going to take some time for the Democratic Party, its base of activists, the unions perhaps, to work out and decide whether it's worth it to pursue a recall, especially in light of all the other elections we're having next year. President, U.S. Senate, 99 assembly seats, half of the state Senate. There's a lot going on next year. Certainly the activists that would like to punish Governor Walker in some way through a recall are probably going to consider going ahead with that. But whether it actually happens and how, we'll see. I thought it was interesting that the governor today was shifting the focus to talking about jobs, in that that's an area where there has been, in January at least, a little bit of Democratic crossover to vote with him. We'll see whether that legislative agenda shifts in response to these elections and the narrower majority.